This video is about Isis soars over Nile to revive her people, but Anubis holds truth. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. In the sprawling realm of Kemet, where the golden sands kiss the banks of the sacred Nile, the sun rose against a canvas of azure skies, casting a haunting light upon the land. It was in this vibrant kingdom that the goddess Isis, custodian of life and magic, prepared to wage a battle like no other. Her heart ached as she beheld her people, weary and oppressed, ravished by the fury of the god Set, who had unleashed chaos upon their once flourishing civilization. Isis stood on the precipice of the sacred temple of Karnak, the weight of her destiny heavy upon her shoulders. Adorned in a gown of shimmering gold, her wings unfurled in a magnificence that rivaled the sun itself. The whispers of ancient prophecies echoed through her mind, stirring the essence of divine power within her. To revive my people is to defy fate itself, she murmured, her voice a blend of sorrow and resolve. Yet the whispers of the past warned her of the lurking shadows. Anubis, the enigmatic god of the afterlife, held a truth that could shatter her resolve. He guarded the paths of souls with his keen gaze, and it was he who alone could unlock the door between life and death. Despite her fears, Isis could not allow despair to take root in her heart. Determined, she summoned the winds of the Nile, the sacred waters stirring at her command as she prepared to take flight. As Isis soared over the vast expanse of the Nile, her heart pulsated with the cries of her people, echoes of the element rising like a tempest. She witnessed the remnants of their once prosperous villages reduced to crumbling bricks and dust. The scent of death hung thick in the air, a miasma that clung to the land like a mourning shroud. She saw the pallor of hopelessness etched upon the faces of her children, men and women who had once danced in the embrace of life. "Hold on," she whispered to the winds, "for I shall return." With this vow, she descended towards the heart of her mission, the temple of Anubis, where truth and fate entwined like serpents in the grass. As she approached the temple, a foreboding chill enveloped her. Shadows danced around her as the god of the underworld emerged from the darkness, his form cloaked in the blackest night. His jackal head glimmered with ancient wisdom, and his eyes dark pools of knowledge bore into Isis as fairy soul. "Why do you come, my sister?" Anubis spoke, his voice a deep echo, resonating with the weight of countless souls. "Do you seek the truth, or do you wish to alter fate itself?" Isis swallowed hard, the weight of his gaze making her heart race. "I seek to revive our people, Anubis. They suffer as Set ravages our lands. I wish to bring them back from the jaws of despair." A smirk danced upon Anubis' lips, though his eyes remained unwavering. "To bring back the dead is to disrupt the delicate balance of the cosmos. What you desire may cost more than you can bear. Tell me what I must do." Her voice rose, a blend of desperation and determination. "I will pay any price for them." Anubis studied her carefully, the glimmer of a challenge igniting within him. "Then you must traverse the underworld, journey through the trials of the lost. Only then will you earn the knowledge to awaken the souls you seek." With a solemn nod, Isis felt the gravity of her choice settle around her. The underworld was a labyrinth of horrors, a place where even the bravest souls trembled. "What if Set?" she demanded, remembering the chaos he had wrought. "If I am to traverse this cursed realm, how shall I protect my people from his wrath?" "Set's power is great, but your love for your people is greater. You shall wield the sacred artifacts of the gods, gifts of strength, wisdom, and protection, but beware, for treachery lurks in every shadow." With that warning heavy in her heart, he extended his hand, revealing a portal swirling with darkness. With a deep breath, Isis stepped through the veil, plunging into the depths of the underworld. The air thickened with despair, and the once vibrant goddess felt the chill of loss envelop her. Spectral forms drifted past her, souls trapped in the limbo of their unfulfilled destinies. She steeled herself, focusing on the light of her purpose. Trials of the lost awaited her. Each trial would test her spirit and resolve, but she could not falter. The first trial emerged as a raging tempest, a monstrous beast of shadows and despair roared forth, its form a grotesque amalgamation of the sorrows of those it had devoured. "Face me, Dark One," Isis called, her wings stretching wide as she summoned the light of her being. "I am Isis, goddess of life, and I will not yield." The creature lunged, a tide of darkness crashing against her. But shining through the storm, Isis invoked the power of the sun, illuminating the shadows with radiant light. The creature writhed, its form dissipating under the brilliance of her magic, and with a final cry, it vanished into the ether. With each victory, Isis felt her strength grow, a divine fire igniting within her heart. The second trial came in the form of a labyrinth, twisting and turning, a riddle of deception. Shadows whispered of her fears, echoing doubts that clawed at her resolve. "You cannot save them. They are lost," they hissed. but she remembered her people, their laughter, their joy, and the warmth of their love. "I will not surrender to fears born of despair," she shouted, focusing on her memories of their hope. With newfound clarity, she navigated the maze, each step guiding her through the darkness until she emerged victorious. The final trial awaited her. Before her stood the spectre of Set, his presence a malevolent storm that bore the weight of chaos itself. "Foolish sister, you think you can resurrect what I have claimed?" His voice slithered like venom, intoxicating and dark. "I do not seek to reclaim what is yours," Set Isis declared, her voice unwavering. "I seek to restore the balance you have destroyed. My love for our people is stronger than your fearsome reign." With a roar, Set unleashed a tempest, lightning crackling through the air. But Isis, empowered by her trials, gathered the essence of the sun and the moon, fusing them into a blinding orb of light. As the two forces clashed, the very earth trembled under their power, tearing the fabric of the underworld as they battled. The burst of energy illuminated the realm, shadows fleeing from the brilliance. The clash of their wills echoed across the aegis, a testament to the struggle between light and darkness. But just as it seemed Set would overwhelm her, Isis called upon the love of her people, channeling their hope into a final surge of strength. "By the power of life and death, I command you," she cried, unleashing the light that surged forth, consuming Set's darkness. With a furious howl, Set was banished back into the shadows, the tempest dissolving into a gentle breeze. Breathing heavily, Isis stood amid the remnants of the underworld, her heart racing as she realized she had passed the trials. "Now, Anubis," she called, the weight of her victory settling upon her shoulders. "Reveal to me the truth that can resurrect my people." Anubis appeared, emerging from the shadows with a solemn look. "You have triumphed, sister. The truth lies not in power alone, but in sacrifice. The lives you wish to restore require a tribute. A piece of your essence must be offered." Isis's heart dropped. To give a part of herself, a fragment of her divinity, was a heavy price. "Is there no other way?" "No, dearest sister. The balance of life demands a sacrifice. The essence you yield will both empower your people and bind their spirits to this realm once more." With tears stinging her eyes, Isis understood the gravity of her choice. "Then I will give them what must be given. For their lives, I shall endure the pain of my sacrifice." Anubis nodded, a flicker of respect in his eyes. "Then let your essence be the bridge between life and death. You shall rise as the dawn, and your people will thrive once more." With that, she reached deep within her being, drawing forth an ethereal light, a piece of herself woven into the fabric of creation. As she released it into the air, a blinding brilliance engulfed the realm, rebirthing the souls of her people with the breath of life. And thus, as the sun rose over the Nile, casting its warm glow upon the land, Isis understood that her journey was far from over. While her people were revived, the battle against Set was only beginning. The gods stirred in their celestial courts, and destiny awaited her, a tapestry woven with threads of sacrifice and honor. In this mythic world, where shadows danced with light, the saga of Isis had only just begun. But her heart, filled with both courage and sorrow, beat strong, an echo of hope in the face of darkness. The adventure loomed ahead, fraught with challenges, betrayals, and the promise of epic battles. As the first rays of sunlight spilled over the Nile, casting diamonds of light upon its waters, Isis felt a surge of life pulsating through the land. Her people, once shadows of themselves, now stood reborn, their eyes bright with renewed vigor. Yet, amidst the joy, a storm brewed within her. The taste of sacrifice lingered on her lips, the price of her victory still weighing heavily on her heart. "Isis," a voice called through the dawn mist. It was Horus, the falcon-headed god, flying low over the water, his wings slicing through the air with grace. He landed before her, his presence a burst of energy. "You have returned them from oblivion. I felt the tremors of your power shake the underworld itself, but Set will not rest. He has tasted your strength, and he will come for you." "I know, dear brother," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I cannot hide. My people need me. If Set seeks war, then we must prepare for it. The balance of our world depends upon it." Horus tilted his head, studying her. "You have given a part of yourself, Isis. We cannot afford to lose you in this conflict. You are the heart of Kemet." "You misunderstand," she said, her eyes fierce with resolve. "My sacrifice has made me stronger, not weaker. I am more than a goddess of life. I am a beacon of hope. If my essence can bridge the realms, then I will wield that power to protect my people." As the sun ascended, illuminating the horizon, a chorus of cries erupted from the villagers, their joy echoing across the riverbanks. But it was not long before the ground trembled beneath them, heralding the arrival of a new threat. Skies darkened, and clouds rolled ominously as Set, draped in shadows, strode forth, his laughter a haunting melody that sent shivers down their spines. Ah, the goddess of life returns. How quaint, Set sneered, his voice dripping with malice. You think you can undo my work, that a flicker of your light can banish the eternal night I bring? I do not fear you, Set Isis declared, stepping forward, her wings unfurling defiantly. You have taken my people, but you shall not claim them again. We will fight for our lives, and we will win. Set's eyes glinted like polished obsidian, and with a wave of his hand, the ground erupted, summoning beasts of nightmare, creatures born of chaos and despair. They howled and screeched, a cacophony of terror that echoed through the valley. Behold, my army, Set proclaimed, gesturing grandly. These are the shadows that will consume your hope. As the monstrous forms advanced, a fierce determination ignited within Isis. Horus, she called, and her brother took flight, his form a blur against the darkened skies. We will fight together, rally the warriors of Kemet, let them see the strength of our unity. Horus soared high above, rallying the warriors. From every corner of Kemet, they emerged men and women clad in armor glinting like stars, ready to face the darkness that threatened to extinguish their light. The battle commenced as arrows darkened the sky, raining down upon the chaos-driven beasts. Isis summoned the sacred winds, channeling her essence into a shield of light that enveloped her people, deflecting the monstrous strikes aimed at them. Stand firm, my warriors, fight with the strength of your ancestors, she urged, her voice ringing like a battle cry through the hearts of her people. As they surged forward, the battlefield transformed into a storm of fury and valor. But amidst the chaos, Set observed with a cruel smile, his eyes narrowing with cunning. You are brave, sister, but bravery alone cannot save you, he taunted, conjuring a tempest that swirled around him, drawing forth the very essence of despair from the earth. The winds howled as the beasts lunged at the warriors, but Isis's heart remained steadfast. She focused her energy, drawing upon the fragments of her divine essence. By the power vested in me as the goddess of life, I command you to retreat, shadows of despair, she shouted, unleashing a wave of radiant energy that sent shockwaves through the battlefield. As the burst of light collided with Set's tempest, a fierce explosion erupted. The ground quaked beneath them, and for a moment, silence reigned as both sides reeled from the impact. Dust and debris cloaked the battlefield, and in the haze, Isis saw her people falter, but only for a moment. Do not waver, she cried, her heart racing as she rallied the warriors. Remember your loved ones, your hopes, we fight for Kemet. With renewed fervor, the warriors surged forward, their resolve igniting like flames. They clashed with the beasts, swords gleaming as they battled against the tide of darkness. Horus swooped down, cutting through the chaos, rallying troops with each triumphant strike. Yet Set's laughter echoed through the air, mocking their efforts. This is but a fleeting moment. Dear sister, you cannot hold back the inevitable, he bellowed, his voice a thunderous echo that vibrated in their very bones. In that moment, Isis felt the weight of her sacrifice pressing upon her, a reminder of what she had given to restore her people. She reached deep within, channeling the essence of life into her very being. Then let it be a moment of reckoning, she declared, her voice a clarion call that pierced through the fog of despair. With her wings spread wide, she summoned the power of the sun, gathering it into a blazing orb above her head. The light emanated from her, illuminating the battlefield with a brilliance that cast away the shadows. Let the light of Kemet shine, she proclaimed, and with a mighty thrust of her arms, the orb of sunlight exploded, engulfing the field in a cascade of golden radiance. The monstrous forms recoiled, shrieking in agony as the light consumed them, and the darkness of Set's tempest began to dissipate. No, this cannot be! Set howled, fury igniting within him as he fought against the brilliance. But as Isis stood resolute, she felt the warmth of her people surge beside her, their spirits intertwining with hers. Together, we are unbreakable, she cried, and in that moment, she unleashed the full force of her power, a beacon of hope erupting across the battlefield. With a final clash, Set's form was engulfed in the light, the weight of darkness crushed beneath the brilliance of unity and love. The echoes of war subsided, leaving only the sound of Isis's heartbeat resonating with the pulse of the earth. As the dust settled, the villagers emerged from the haze, weary but steadfast. They looked upon their goddess, their savior, who had borne the burden of sacrifice and emerged victorious. Cheers erupted, mingling with tears of joy as they gathered around her. Isis, Isis, they chanted, their voices a symphony of gratitude and love. But amidst the celebration, a flicker of concern darkened Isis's heart. The path ahead was still fraught with peril. Yet as she looked into the eyes of her people, she felt an unshakable resolve. We have faced the darkness and emerged stronger, she said, her voice steady. But our journey is not over, Set will return, and we must be prepared. Horus nodded, his expression serious. Let us gather the gods and forge alliances. We cannot face him alone. Together, We will build a legacy, Isis proclaimed, her heart swelling with hope. We will train, we will grow, and we will uphold the light of Kemet against the shadows that threaten our existence. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the land, Isis raised her arms, embracing her people. Their hearts beat as one, their spirits intertwined in the sacred bond of love and honor. And in that moment, beneath the vast expanse of the stars, the legend of Isis Sword knew a tale of resilience, sacrifice, and the everlasting fight against the darkness that sought to consume the light. Their adventure had only begun, but with each step forward, they carved their legacy into the annals of myth, a testament to the indomitable spirit of life itself. With the dawn of a new day on the horizon, Isis knew that they would prepare to face whatever challenges lay ahead. For they were not just survivors, they were warriors of the light, defenders of their realm, and as long as they stood together, hope would forever thrive in the heart of Kemet. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a cascade of fiery colors over the sky, the villagers of Kemet stood resolute, their spirits intertwined with that of their goddess, Isis. The air crackled with energy, a palpable tension that marked the dawn of a new chapter in their epic tale. Yet the shadows of Set loomed ominously on the edges of their victory. Isis, with her gleaming wings unfurled and heart aflame, turned to her people, whose eyes reflected both awe and determination. "We have faced the darkness and emerged victorious," she proclaimed, her voice resonating with the strength of the mountains. "But remember, Set is cunning. He will not rest until he claims this realm again." Horus stepped forward, his wings shimmering like a beacon of hope. "We must gather our allies, summon the gods of Kemet, and unite against Set's inevitable return. Alone, we are strong, but together, we are unbreakable." From the crowd, a warrior named Ammon stepped forward, his armor shining with the light of their victory. "We will train, prepare, and become a force he cannot contend with. Let us not merely defend, but strike first, show him the strength of our resolve." The crowd erupted with cheers, their voices ringing like the chimes of 1,000 bells. But amidst the fervor, Isis felt a weight in her heart. "Yes, we will prepare," she said, her voice steady but laced with urgency. "But we must also seek counsel with the gods who govern the realms. They hold wisdom that we cannot afford to ignore." As the villagers began to disperse, ignited with purpose, Isis, Horus, and Ammon climbed the sacred steps of the Temple of Karnak, where the celestial powers presided. The air hummed with divine energy, the walls adorned with hieroglyphs that whispered ancient stories of battles fought and won. Inside, the council chamber awaited them, its opulence a stark contrast to the turmoil outside. The light from the sacred flame flickered, casting dancing shadows on the marble. As they entered, the gods turned their majestic gazes upon them, Ra, the sun god, Thoth, the god of wisdom, and Hathor, the goddess of love and joy. "Isis, daughter of Jib and Nut, you return from the depths." Ra spoke, his voice warm like the sun's embrace. "What brings you to our council, and what burden do you carry?" "The darkness of Set is far from vanquished," Isis replied, her voice steady, though her heart raced with urgency. "He has tasted the power of our unity, and he shall return, stronger than before. We must unite all our forces and prepare for the battles to come." Thoth, his ibis head tilted with curiosity, nodded. "Wisdom often comes in the form of strategy. We must gather all the gods and warriors of Kemet. A council of strength is necessary, for chaos thrives in isolation." Hathor stepped forward, her presence radiant. "Let us call forth the gods from their abodes. We will forge alliances and strengthen our bonds. The love and joy of our people will be the light that guides us." With a shared nod, the gods joined hands, their collective energy swelling in the air like a tempest. A golden beam shot forth into the heavens, illuminating the night sky, a signal to invoke the gods from their celestial realms. As the light faded, a thundering silence enveloped the chamber, and one by one, the gods began to materialize from the cosmic ether. Osiris, adorned in robes of emerald green, appeared first, followed by Sekhmet, the lion-headed goddess of war, her fierce gaze promising power and protection. "Isis, my sister," Osiris greeted, his voice gentle yet authoritative, "you have triumphed, but the path ahead is fraught with peril. You possess the heart of Kemet, and we shall stand with you." Sekhmet stepped forward, her presence a storm of strength. "Let us not wait for Set to strike. I bring forth a legion of warriors. Together, we will unleash a storm upon his shadow." As the gods gathered, Isis felt the warmth of their unity envelop her, fueling her resolve. "We prepare for war, not merely to defend, but to reclaim what is rightfully ours. Let us harness the strength of our people, our love, and our honor." In a vibrant display of divine energy, the gathering transformed into a council of strategy, their voices intertwining like threads of fate. They crafted a planned series of ambushes and defenses across Kemet, fortified by the energies of the gods and the valor of its people. Under the watchful eyes of the gods, the warriors trained day and night, their spirits ignited with the desire to protect their home. Isis led them, her essence intertwining with theirs, igniting their hearts with the magic of life. Each swing of a sword, each arrow loosed into the air, was a testament to the sacrifices made and the love that bound them all. Weeks passed, the weight of preparation heavy upon their shoulders, but the fires of hope burned brightly. Yet, deep within Isis's heart, an ache lingered, a reminder of her sacrifice, a fragment of her essence that had bridged the realms of life and death. One fateful evening, as the sun set behind the horizon, painting the sky with crimson hues, a messenger arrived, breathless and fearful. Isis, the shadow stir, Set has gathered his forces, his army of chaos approaches, a mass of darkness ready to engulf Kemet. The air crackled with tension as Isis felt the ground beneath her tremble with dread. Gather the warriors, she commanded, her voice a powerful beacon amidst the fear. We will not cower in the face of darkness, we will fight for our home. The warriors assembled, their faces a tapestry of determination and fearlessness. Horus soared overhead, his presence a symbol of hope, while Ammon stood by Isis's side, clutching his sword with fierce resolve. We will not let Set take what we have fought for, not again, he vowed. As the horizon darkened, the air grew still, a prelude to a storm that was about to break. Set appeared on the battlefield, a ghastly figure cloaked in shadows, flanked by creatures of nightmare serpents that slithered like shadows and grotesque beasts that howled with hunger. Ah, dear sister, Set's voice echoed, slithering like a serpent through the air. You thought you could defy fate? You thought you could extinguish my darkness, prepared to be consumed? Your reign of terror ends here, Set. Isis shouted, stepping forward, her wings unfurling in a brilliant display of light. We are the light that will banish your shadows. With a roar, the battle erupted, a cataclysmic clash of light against darkness. Warriors surged forward, bold against the tide of chaos. Arrows flew through the air, striking true, while swords clashed, ringing out in defiance of despair. Isis summoned the essence of life, channeling the energy of the sun, her figure glowing brighter with each incantation. By the power of Kemet, I command you to retreat. Dark forces are set, she cried, unleashing a wave of energy that radiated through the battlefield. Set, momentarily taken aback, sneered. You think your light can extinguish me? I am chaos incarnate. With a wave of his hand, he summoned the shadows, darkness swelling around him, morphing into monstrous forms that lunged at Isis. But with every ounce of her essence, she called forth the light, illuminating the battlefield in a cascade of brilliance. United, we are stronger than your shadows, she shouted, the radiance pushing back the darkness inch by inch. As the armies clashed, the echoes of battle rang through the air, a symphony of life and death playing out before the gods themselves. Horus flew overhead, his wings slicing through the chaos, rallying warriors as they fought with the fury of their ancestors. The ground trembled with the ferocity of the battle, but amidst the chaos, Ammon found himself face to face with one of Set's most fearsome beasts, an abomination with glistening fangs and eyes like burning coals. With a roar, he charged forward, his sword raised high, determination etched across his face. By the light of Kemet, I will not falter, she shouted, striking at the beast with all his might. The creature shrieked, its howl mingling with the cries of war, but Ammon pressed on, fierce and unyielding. As the battle raged, the shadows began to wane, the combined strength of the warriors and the gods pushing against the tide of darkness. But Set, fueled by rage, unleashed a tempest that threatened to consume them all. Isis! Horus cried, soaring close, his voice urgent. Focus your energy, we must combine our powers, the light must shine as one. With a nod, Isis gathered her strength, channeling the essence of her people, the love they shared, and the sacrifices made for their freedom. Together, she shouted, raising her arms high as Horus joined her, his own energy merging with hers. A blinding orb formed above them, a symbol of their unity, light and hope intertwined, a manifestation of their collective will. Let us banish the darkness, they declared. As a blinding orb of light grew, casting away the shadows that clung to the battlefield, Isis felt a surge of power course through her. The warmth of her people, their hopes and dreams, resonated within her very core, igniting her spirit like the sun itself. Together, we are unbreakable, she shouted, her voice a rallying cry that echoed across the war-torn land. Horus, his wings beating against the encroaching darkness, soared above the fray, his eyes sharp and focused. Warriors of Kemet, he called, his voice ringing with authority. Now is our moment. Charge forth, let the light of our unity shine brighter than the shadows of despair. With renewed vigor, the warriors surged forward, their hearts ignited by the brilliance of Isis and Horus. The cacophony of battle roared around them, a symphony of clashing steel, anguished cries, and the relentless howls of Set's monstrous beasts. The ground trembled beneath the weight of this struggle, Yet amid the chaos, a fierce determination bloomed in the hearts of the fearless. Isis, now a beacon of radiance, guided her warriors with a wave of her hand. Let the essence of Kemet flow through you. We are not merely fighting for ourselves, we are fighting for every soul that has ever called this land home. The energy surged through her, illuminating the battlefield with an ethereal glow. As the warriors clashed with the grotesque monstrosities that Set had unleashed, Ammon stood resolute at the front lines, his sword gleaming with divine light. The beast that confronted him, a twisted creature with scales like obsidian and eyes aflame with fury, lunged with a guttural snarl. By the light of Kemet, I will not falter. Ammon roared, channeling his fear into raw determination. With a swift motion, he dodged its snapping jaws and sliced through the air, his sword finding its mark against the creature's side. The beast howled in agony, staggering back, but Ammon pressed forward, relentless. Your darkness cannot consume me, he shouted. You will fall as all shadows do. With a surge of energy, he struck again, driving his sword deep into the creature's heart. With a final, anguished scream, it collapsed into the dust, dissipating like smoke in the wind. Nearby, Horus swooped low, his talons catching the shoulder of another beast, tearing through its flesh with a powerful grip. For Kemet, he cried, his voice a clarion call. He released the creature, sending it crashing into the ground, where it lay still among the chaos. But Set, cloaked in his tempest of shadows, was not so easily defeated. His laughter rang out like thunder, each note a reminder of the darkness lingering on the edge of their victory. You think your light can extinguish my power? He taunted, his voice curling around them like smoke. You are but flickering candles in the storm, you will all perish. With a swift motion, he summoned a gale of wind, swelling dark energy that wrapped around the warriors, pulling them into suffocating embrace. The air thickened, and Isis staggered, her radiant light dimming in the face of the encroaching darkness. Isis Focusa. Horus shouted, flying back towards her, a fierce determination etched upon his features. We must unite our powers, push back against the storm. With every ounce of her remaining strength, Isis closed her eyes and gathered the essence of her people, their love, their courage, their unwavering spirit. Together, she shouted, raising her arms high, the ethereal orb above them pulsating with energy. By the bond we share, we command the light. As if responding to her call, the orb exploded in brilliance, tendrils of light stretching across the battlefield, pushing against Set's darkness. Look! Set bellowed, his form flickering as the shadows fought back against the brilliance. You cannot stop me. But as the light surged forth, illuminating the faces of her warriors, a fierce hope ignited within Isis. We are the heart of Kemet, we stand united, and together we will drive back the darkness. With a mighty roar, she unleashed the full force of her power, the light expanding outward like the dawn breaking over the horizon. The shadows shrieked, a cacophony of despair mingling with the cries of hope as they began to dissipate under the onslaught of purity. Yet Set would not yield so easily. I will not be extinguished, he howled, a guttural roar that reverberated through the air. With a wave of his hand, he summoned forth a new wave of beast creatures more twisted and nightmarish than before, their eyes glinting with malevolence as they surged towards the heart of Kemet. Brace yourselves. Horus shouted, his wings beating furiously as he rallied the warriors. We will not falter, we fight for our lives, our land, and the legacy of our ancestors. The warriors, resolute and fierce, charged into the fray as the beast lunged. The battlefield erupted in a cacophony of clashing steel, the cries of the fallen echoing in the air. Isis summoned her essence, weaving it into barriers of light that deflected the monstrous strikes aimed at her people. Stand firm, she cried, her voice ringing with authority. The warriors surged forward, their hearts ignited by her unwavering resolve. Together, we will prevail. With every clash of swords and every arrow loosed into the air, a fierce bond forged between the goddess and her people, an unbreakable tapestry woven from love, sacrifice, and honor. Ammon fought with the ferocity of a lion, his strikes precise and powerful, cutting through the chaos. Though shadows may surround us, we shall illuminate the dark, he shouted, his voice a rallying cry that ignited the spirits of his comrades. Around him, warriors fell into rhythm, their every move a dance of defiance against the creeping despair. As the clash of battle reached a fever pitch, Set's fury grew, his form towering above the chaos, a dark god amid a sea of light. You fight valiantly, but it is in vain, he bellowed, his voice laced with venom. You think your unity can rival my chaos, I will drown Kemet in shadows. But as the darkness threatened to consume them, Isis felt a surge of strength bubbling within her, a deep well of power that drew from the very essence of life itself. No, she shouted, channeling the energy of every soul she had resurrected, every life she had touched. We will not bow to you, Set. With a fierce roar, she summoned the light once more, her wings unfurling in a burst of brilliance that illuminated the battlefield. The orb above her grew larger, and with it, she felt the spirits of the fallen rally around her, their voices merging with hers. For Kemet, they echoed, a chorus of defiance against the darkness. With a final, mighty thrust, Isis released the orb of light, and it surged forward, a tidal wave of brilliance that consumed the battlefield. By the power of life and love, I command you, Set, be gone. The explosion of light engulfed Set, his laughter turning to anguished cries as the shadows around him shattered like glass, scattering into the ether. No, this cannot be, he howled, his form flickering as the energy of unity surged against him. And then, in a blinding flash, the darkness began to dissipate, the tendrils of despair receding as the light swept across the land. The warriors stood tall, their hearts unified, their spirits intertwined in a tapestry of hope. As the shadows fled, Set's form withered, his power crushed beneath the weight of their unyielding spirit. This is not the end, dear sister, he proclaimed, his voice a fading echo. I will return, and when I do, Kemet will be mine. Let him come, Isis declared, her voice resonating with strength and courage. For as long as we stand together, we will never falter against the shadows. Kemet will thrive, and love will prevail. As the battlefield fell silent, the warriors of Kemet stood victorious, their hearts beating as one. They looked to Isis, their goddess of life, their protector, who had borne the weight of sacrifice and emerged as a beacon of hope. The air hummed with energy as they embraced one another, tears mingling with laughter amid the ruins of war. We did it, Ammon shouted, his voice ringing with uncontainable joy. We fought for our home, and we emerged victorious. Horus landed beside them, his eyes bright with pride. Together, we are formidable. This battle has shown us the power of our unity, but we must remain vigilant. Set will not rest. Isis nodded, a mix of pride and sorrow washing over her. We are not only warriors, we are guardians of Kemet. This is our legacy, a tapestry of light woven from sacrifice. We will train, prepare, and forge alliances. With the sun rising anew on the horizon, casting hues of gold and crimson across the land, Isis felt the warmth of hope envelop her. Together, they would reclaim what had been lost, protect what they held dear, and honor the sacrifices of